welcome everybody. Today is Tuesday, and you know what that is? That is Talk to Me Tuesday. I'm so glad to be here with you today on this amazing Tuesday. I don't know about you, but where I am, it's pretty cold out here. Listen, I have two amazing guests with me today. As always, I have my ride and die partner, Carla Hughes, with me. We got a special guest. We have Mr. Coach Dan with us as well. But before we get started into our Talk to Me Tuesday. Remember, make sure that you go to our chat, talk to us, ask us any questions that you would like to ask us. And before we really get started with our amazing topic, I'm excited. So I hope you guys are going to get ready. Let's my co-hosts introduce themselves. Carla, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about you, what you got going on, girl, and how we can connect with you.
Okay, hey, my name is Carla Muse here in Edmond, Oklahoma. I'm a business coach. I do help with accountability. I also help people who are influencers earn income. So that's another way to connect with me. One of the projects that I have going on is a event for social media. We're going to talk about email marketing, landing pages, and websites. So that's coming up February 1st. And so you can connect with me on my group page on Facebook with Coaching with Carla. So that's how you can connect with me.
Okay, all right. I'm just glad to see you on your thing over there. Okay, Mr. Coach Dan. Mr. Coach Dan, what do you got going on? Introduce yourself because you're new to our audience. So let me make sure that I have to quit saying ladies, but for our audience, we are streaming on Conversations Over Coffee. We are streaming on LinkedIn Live, and we are also streaming on YouTube. So Coach Dan, tell the audience who you are, what you do, and how we can reach you.
Well, thank you, Tandra. It's so good to see you this morning. Hi, Carla. So good to see you. I miss you guys like crazy. I'm Coach Dan Sturm. I actually live now in Louisville, Kentucky. The reason I go by Coach Dan is because I actually was a high school girls basketball coach for 25 years in Tennessee and Alabama. I've always been a serial entrepreneur. And I just love all the things that people are doing in their lives. And I, like Carla, have decided going into the new year that my adjustment is I'm going to connect influencers with brands. That seems to be where the next 10 to 15 years are going. And so, I'm always excited to be connected with people, and I'm happy to be here today to share in any way I can.
Awesome. Listen, that's why this topic is going to be so juicy. This is a juicy topic. So listen, the topic today is taking the leap. So I want to say a leap year. It's going to be called leap year. Now, it's not really the leap year, but it's going to be the leap year for you. We're going to leap ourselves on into 2021. So you know what? Let's get started with this topic. So one of the things that I noticed about being a part of leaping into a new year. Wait a minute. Let me break it down because I forgot to tell y'all. Man, you know my word is going into the new year, I'm ready. So I hope that all of you are ready, and I hope you grabbed your pencil and paper to take down these juicy nuggets that my guest is going to be dropping. We're going to be dropping some gems on you. So I want to make sure that you got all the equipment that you need. That's a part of leaping in to 2021 is making sure that you have your writing pencils and make sure that you get all the notes. So we're going to leap on in here. So one of the things that I find that is so important to leap into a new year is to make sure that you are leveraging entrepreneurship to adapt and pivot into the new year. Okay? Let me say that again. So leap, I wrote it out. Leveraging entrepreneurship, adapt to pivot in 2021. And one of the first things that we need to do that is what? We got to have a plan, right? Every entrepreneur should have a plan. So let's talk about why it's so important to have a plan. Let's start with Coach Dan. Coach Dan, why do you feel that it's so important that we have a plan? That a plan is one of the parts of leaping into a new year?
Well, Tendra, that's a great question. I think that the biggest challenge that most people have, whether they've been an entrepreneur for a long time or whether they're just starting on their entrepreneur journey, is fear or the constant thoughts in their mind about giving up the perception of job security and benefits. And so one of the things that people have to be really conscious of as they're putting their plan together, the stronger the plan is, the less fear there's going to be as you begin to transition away from all of what we've been taught, right? The social safety net about, hey, you're going to lose all your benefits. For somebody that's a fledgling entrepreneur, I always suggest that they get involved in something with a great trainer that doesn't cost a lot of money and doesn't require them to leave their full-time job with benefits initially. And once they've been involved in that environment, and I'd like to say, 6 months to 2 years even, training at the foot of a leader, then I think can begin to make the decisions about, hey, can I afford my own insurance? And they start looking at from where I sit today. I totally don't believe in the social safety net. I know it doesn't exist, but if you're in the social safety net, you still think there's one. And so it's better for me in dealing with people if they've had an opportunity to gradually change so that we don't deal with the emotions of the fear that is real, but ultimately you find out when you're successful that that's just a perception. But it's real to the people that are dealing with it.
Absolutely. I agree. Yeah.
What are your comments on that, Carla?
Well, yeah, I'm going to agree with Coach Dan because your mindset, getting your mind ready, and when I say that, you're never really ready for a reset, right? You're never really ready to pivot. But if you're a great athlete, you get yourself prepared and you have some other options so that when you are not all the eggs are in one basket. So it's surrounding yourself with people who can help you change that mindset and then help you get on the right path of planning for what's to come. The pandemic threw us all into a crazy cycle. And so you have to, you have to decide, am I going to stay in this circle or am I going to jump out and then work on my mindset to say that it's okay to have some different options alongside. I never recommend, Coach Dan doesn't recommend you give up what you're doing just to hop into another situation. We're saying have the mindset to walk alongside of what you're doing right now so that not all the eggs are in one basket.
Okay,
if I can,
go ahead. Listen, I hope everybody's writing this stuff in.
If you meet somebody that encourages you to quit your full-time job and benefits, and they're not willing to write you a big fat check to get you to leave, you should run from that person.
Run!
Because they don't have your best interest at heart. They're looking for another number. Anybody who cares about you is not gonna tell you to just drop what you're doing and start something brand new, because they know the struggle, they know the emotional struggle, and they know the time that it takes to build. So those were great points, Carla, for sure.
Awesome. So let me just make sure I'm understanding. So, as we're leaping into the 2021 year, one of the things we're talking about right now is having a plan, making sure you have a plan, a good plan that you can execute that plan. So, what the conversation is really about is, we need to start having some strategies. We need to have some strategies and some timelines. Coach Dan mentioned, like when you're trying to leave maybe a 9-to-5 job and, you're wanting to make sure that, listen, I want to have my dream come true. I'm tired of watching, on the sidelines, watching everybody else's dreams come true. Just because it's a new year doesn't mean that things change. But like Carla said, we have to have a different mindset of where we're going and where we're trying to go. But here's the cool thing about it is entrepreneurs know who another entrepreneur is. Am I right? Because when you do that, then you're actually being able to encourage them and give them advice. Just like Coach Dan said, if anybody's telling you that, you might want to run away. You might want to run away from them because that's not the person who you're really wanting to be a part of what I call your circle. to help you and to motivate you, to really uplift you and push you to the next level. So one of the key things is making sure as we leaping into this thing and making our plan that we have it all written down, that we have a pathway, a guideline of where we're going and how we're going to get there. I mean, even right now, like I know a lot of us have to, like Coach Dan said, if you've been used to the paycheck, everybody's used to the paycheck. They every two weeks paychecks. Once the paycheck goes away, we're like, oh my God, what do we do next? But if you actually have a plan that you have written down and really kind of strategized it of exactly how you're going to get there and making sure you're around joint ventures or joint partnerships that can help you really get there, makes a whole lot of difference. So listen, it's like I was reading my mind this morning about what I really want to talk about. So, and I'm glad, listen, that's why I'm saying, listen, great minds think alike. So one of the things the next thing about, we talked about leveraging our entrepreneurship, making sure that we're in the right space and the right things that we're executing. Now, here's the next thing, because I had a conversation on my morning coffee show with Tanya and Gia. And one of the things we talked about was leadership. Coach Dan just hit on that. But Coach Dan, I want to ask you a question because you are a coach. Why is it so important to have a coach? Now, as we're building our dreams and trying to execute our plan, isn't it good to have a coach to go alongside of you? I mean, give us some examples of why it's so important to have a coach.
Well, the interesting thing about coaching is that when I was coaching the girls basketball team, I never got to shoot the shots. I had to let them shoot the shots. So my whole career was based on a 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old making a free throw. And when you're in your season, there's a lot of other things that are pulling you in different directions. And having a mentor or coach allows you to get back on the line, to not get pushed too far to the right, too far to the left. It's not a substitute for you doing the work, but it's somebody who's been down the road already. They've already got that experience. They're not intimidated by the things that are happening. We say all the time in business, as your emotions go up, your decision-making ability goes down. That happens in a ball game too. And so, there are so many parts of being an entrepreneur that people just don't understand, like setting hours for your business. When you have a job, your family knows that you're at work, so they're not trying to pull you in different directions because they know you're at the job. The minute you start your own business, everybody just thinks you're at the house, and now all of a sudden they want you to go do what's up, right? So it's simple things like that if you don't know those things, it's not that you can't figure them out. But for what a coach charges you to help you, regardless of what it is, it's insignificant to the amount of time that they save you in getting closer to your goals. You can do it yourself, but it's going to take a lot of time to figure that out. And so I would take a brand new, if you brought me your daughter and said, hey, will you train her? I'd say, yeah, well, I'll commit to you one lesson. And when she showed up, I'd take your money first, and then I'd make her go shoot. I'd make her go shoot 100 shots. And I'd look at her attitude. I wouldn't count the shots whether they got made or got missed, because the first step is you got to take 100 shots. If you're a realtor, you got to take 100 shots. If you sell insurance, you got to take 100 shots. If you sell skincare, you got to take 100 shots. Not be emotionally connected to the outcome. Very difficult to do. But you have a coach like somebody like Carla, who I've worked with personally. They already know what the questions are going to be. They already know the frustration, and they're going to calm you down, get you back focused on your goals, and help you to move on and accomplish your goals much, much faster than if you did it by yourself.
Awesome. Okay, I hope all y'all wrote down them juicy nuggets. Mr. Coach Dan just dropped Carla. Give me Miss Coach Carla, coaching with Carla. Give us some nuggets.
Well, here's a nugget that I have for you. When you have a good coach, they have some systems. They have some they walked ahead of you, and they've already, hopefully, if you have the right coach for you, they've already been in those down spots, and they know how to show you how to pivot and say you can go down that road. It may take you longer. It's a great learning lesson. But if you really are looking for a great coach, that coach, if you're listening to the coach, they're going to tell you when to pivot and when to keep straight. And they're going to come across with those systems because of their experience that they have with coaching. I wish I could, because we're talking to Coach Dan, but let me think, I can think of one NBA coach that I thought was amazing. He coached Michael Jordan. Who is it, Coach Dan? The Bulls.
You talking about in college?
No.
The Bulls.
Oh, the Bulls.
Who is that?
Drawing a blank.
I can't think of him.
Drawing a blank. But go ahead.
But the point was, he had to look at all the people that he was coaching and how powerful those people were and how far he took them because they had so many championships. So you're going to be winning because you left enough room for somebody to pour into you to get you further down the road, faster down the road than what you normally would have come had you not had a coach. Now, Michael Jordan was going to be great, but he surrounded him with great people, and he was able to coach all of them to work together as a team because everybody had a role. Even Rodman, what's his name, Scottie Pippen, all of them had a role to play, and in that, as a team, you can go faster. There's a saying, and I know I'll mess it up. You want to go by. You want to do a project, go by yourself. You want to get further, go with a group, a team of people who are like-minded to get down that road. So I know I messed that up, but y'all get the point.
Oh my God! Listen, I'm gonna snap on all of that because that was juice. That was hot. That was some good nuggets that y'all just dropped. Let's you know what? Let's just kind of explore this a little bit more because one of the things that right now, taking a leap into 2021, you're right. Both of you are so absolutely right. Is making sure that you have someone with you. It's about having that accountability, and it's also about showing up. Like Coach Dan said, you know what? I'm gonna take your money first. But once you show up, you know what? You got to be able to put in the work. It's because you want the opportunity, you still got to do the assignment. You see what I'm saying? And that's what's going to make it even better for you. But here's the thing, too, about when you're looking for a good coach and a coach is looking for a good team player is, right, the first thing is the attitude. I mean, a coach, to me, really helps develop what your dream is, what you're trying to get out, what you're trying to put out into the avenue, what it is that you're trying to do. A coach really helps you to develop that. But in the same sense, we have to be on the same level. I mean, you have to be able to commit the time to being able to do the things. You have to be able to commit, being a part of the whole system. Like Carla said, there is systems that you have to put in place. But, a coach can help you with that because just think, I mean, we've all been through that process.
Right.
The thing with us, the thing is that we can help those, like you both said, so you don't have to make those mistakes down the road. But the first thing is I got to know that you're in the right space and the right mind, that you're ready to do it, that you're ready for the assignment that's going to be laid out for you. And not only that, you're ready for the accountability. A lot of us need accountability. We need the accountability because we have to make sure that we're all showing up. But even with us, when you become our clients, we're giving you that one-on-one attention. Nothing else. I'm not going to the grocery store. I'm not going to be at Target. You're going to get my one-on-one attention because this is what we do as coaches, right? We make sure we lay the plan down. We're going to help you leverage your entrepreneurship, and we're going to help you adapt to whatever the situation is, whether that's getting some mind coaching along the way. I mean, those are the things that coaches do, because here's the thing about it is, like I said, I was having a conversation with Tanya and Gia yesterday, and we were saying that people don't want to ask for help. That's one of the things about it comes to coaching is that they don't want to have ask for the help. And not only that, they're figuring like, listen, you know what? I tell people all the time that even my biggest fan, my follower, he has a coach. But coaches have coaches. Everybody has a coach in order to take it to the next level. And one of the things in my workbook I talk about all the time is about your 3 top influencers. Who are you following? How are you following them? Are you looking at what they're doing? How, when they're sharing the stage with somebody, that's help. They are getting coaching from the people that they've actually put on those stages. So let's just go a little bit more deeper in to coach, because right now I feel that in my spirit, that's really what we need right now to take this leap. We need somebody to believe in us, to help us know that we're on the right path. So let's dive a little bit deeper into that. So I made some good points. Thank you all for watching us. Let me just reset the room real quick. You're on Talk to Me Tuesday, where we're sharing helpful networking tips to help you grow your business. I have two amazing guests with me today, Mrs. Carla Mukes and Mr. Coach Dan, who is going to be dropping some golden nuggets on for you to help you take this leap into the new year. It's called the leap year. That's our topic, leveraging entrepreneurship to adapt and to pivot. So, and we're talking right now about coaching. Why coaching is so important. And a lot of people kind of put that off to the side. So let's dive a little bit more deeper into that. So we know that accountability is huge. So let's talk about, the steps in coaching. So let's talk about that. So Carla, I'll start with you because, it's Coaching with Carla. So let's give us some steps of what you feel that are good steps. The first good step is to what?
The first good step is do a discovery call and check your coach out and make sure you're willing to take the steps that coach is going to ask you, even if it hurts. Now, I have some amazing athletic children, and, they didn't always think the coach was right, but because the coach had more experience, we had to go with the coach is right? And so you have to discover. My daughter Morgan picked her track coach 2 years before she was ready for that coach. And I'm not saying that you have to do that, but you have to develop a relationship that you are willing to trust the instincts of the coach, because they can see a little bit further out than you are. So you want to do what my first step is when anybody I'm coaching. I want to do a discovery call with you. I want to see that I'm the right coach. It's not about just that you're choosing me. I don't even know if I want to choose. I don't even know if I want to coach you yet. And I know I'm going to turn this over to Coach Dan, because I know what he's going to say.
Come on, lay it on us, Coach Dan.
Well, Carla's absolutely right. I mean, when you, I don't like the word accountability. Don't get me wrong, people have to be accountable. But if you create enough vision for where you're going, then people want to join you. And then as the leader, you can look at those people and say, well, the cost to be on the playground is this, right? And so, there was a job I applied for coaching in Nashville, and it was at a smart school, a magnet school. And we were very successful, and they invited me to a meeting where they were asking me how often was I going to practice, because they were worried about the kids' academics more than athletics. And I said, well, the first year we'll probably only practice 5 days a week because we will be that good, but the next year we'll probably practice 6 days a week and then have the gym open on Sundays. But kids aren't going to be demanded to go. They're going to want to go, because as they're accomplishing through the process, they want the swag. The Dallas Cowboys don't hold their people accountable. They just get their jersey from them and go get somebody else, right? Now, you can't start out at that level, right? But a lot of times in the absence of true leadership, people fall back on their own life experience, which is wrong, because they've worked a job. And so you see them filling their day with calls and things that make them feel good, but don't produce anything. And these are things that a person just getting into business does not understand. I see them all the time, and I'm sure you guys do as well. But the key is saying to that person, look, I've got a proven system that works. Come in here, chase the dream. Let's track your progress. And at the end of it, we're playing for a championship, right? That's what coaching's all about.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. That's a woo-woo. That's a woo-woo. Listen, if y'all don't know woo-woo, I don't know. Listen, that is so important. You know what? Listen, one thing that Coach Dan, I love Coach Dan. Listen, he's been my coach, and he's done some amazing things for the both of us. I mean, he's made us tons of money, and I mean, we've had a good time. But one of the things, you gotta want it. You got to want the championship. Please, somebody type that. Want the championship? You gotta want it. Because here's the thing about it is, I think what falls to the side is that people want to coach, right? They want those what is it? DIY, do it yourself, or what is it? The next one is do it with a little help, and then they want somebody to just do it all by them. I mean, just do it for them. And that's not the type of coaching that you need, because you can't utilize the tools and the information that you have to bring to your clients, because each one of us is different. We each have a unique type of style, tools, products, and services that we're wanting to do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Carolyn said, listen, you gotta want the championship. But here's the thing about it is, if you don't want it, what's that saying? If your dreams don't scare you enough, then listen, then it's just what do they say? It's just a hobby. Is that what they say? If it don't scare you enough,
they say that.
Yeah, but here's the thing about it is, you gotta want it, and you gotta put in the work to get it done. You can't expect, we as coaches can help you, guide you. We're gonna walk alongside of you, but you are ultimately the team player. You're the player on the court that's making the shots, and you gotta make enough shots in order to win the championship.
That's right.
And if you don't do it, then guess what? Guess what? They kick you off the team. Ain't that right, Coach? They gonna kick you off the team.
Well, get another. Now you go get another player first.
Go get another player first.
And then eventually, no more seats. That's what happens.
Go ahead, talk about that. I love the way you talk about that. You know, when you put players that your top 5, and then let's say somebody is not really performing. Talk about the bench. You know, when we've talked about.
Well, the best story that I have on that is a young lady named Sydney, who was a superstar basketball player in Knoxville for me, and I was the assistant coach. And if you ever came to games, you would have seen me sitting on the bench while he was walking back and forth coaching the team. And Sydney was a fantastic player. We rode her. She scored tons of points. Every game we won was because of her. But one day, Coach Moore was mad at her. She wasn't performing well. And he looked at me, and when he was mad, he would talk through his fingers so no one could read his lips. And he looked over and he said, Sydney's playing terrible, get her out. And I said, okay. And then I looked down the bench, and I realized I could have put 2 of them in, and they weren't good as Sydney. So I didn't put anybody in. I didn't sub her at all. So minutes later, he looks at me and he says, I thought I told you to get Sydney out. And I looked at him, and to the girls on the bench, and I said, well, who would you put in? And so the point of that story is that if I go and recruit another player, that player should be better than the worst player on my bench. I still got to have a player on my bench. But I'm not looking for somebody to be better than my worst player. I'm looking for somebody that can come sit beside me and be the next person in. Now, when that happens, that does put other players down the bench. The great players, the ones that really want it, will come to you and say, Coach, what do I have to do to work harder? The ones that are losing their seat at the end of the bench, they just say bad things about you behind your back, and they end up in the bleachers. But it's okay, because your job is to win. If you don't win, you don't have a job. And so that's the story that Carl is talking. You'd always be looking for people. A good coach is always looking for somebody better than you. I hate to say it, but it's the truth.
Woo-woo. Woo-woo-woo-woo. That was a nugget.
Someone's going to make us a better coach. That's what, so you want to take on those bigger things, because that experience, you're getting experience also as a coach too, to coach people to their best level. So I've watched that even just in counseling, and then I've seen it in athletes, and I've seen it in business. The people that they have walk alongside of them, they keep them going up to the next level, and you wonder why. They have good people behind them, alongside of them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
You also see a lot of great athletes that move from year to year to a different team following a coach. If you look at Tampa Bay and you look at their roster and where all these guys came from, they all wanted to play with Tom Brady and Andy Reid. I mean, and they all came for less money because they want that ring, man. And they'll make their money on their next job. And now here they are in the Super Bowl. I don't know if they'll win, but every year you see a team like that, baseball, basketball, be some guy that's played on 6 different teams, right? Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of magic in finding those right people and figuring out how you can help each other, even if you're not in the same business selling the same product. It really doesn't matter, to be honest.
Yes. Listen, that was golden. Because here's the thing that we talk about too, always, surrounding yourself around those who will, push you and uplift you. And that's the true thing. I mean, here's the thing about it is what we find kind of like in a lot of industries that people are just jumper humpers and dumpers. I like that.
Love it.
They just jumping around and they don't know where to land, don't know what they're doing, they don't know where they're going because they always think that the next best thing is on the next end. But really, if you took the time to just sit down and just, do a inventory, an analysis of what you got in front of you, you got the best thing. You got the best thing. You just have to know how to utilize what you have and put yourself around the right people that'll give you that boost to get it there. But because I'm telling you, what we find is so many people go around and do different things and they're not finding the success is that like Coach Dan said, now you want to talk about us. You want to talk about us. But really, whose fault was it? We don't put blame where blame really needs to be because you was that jumper, humper, and dumper. Woo.
Jumping, dumping, and dumpers. Okay, somebody put that in the chat.
Jumper, humpers, and dumpers. I mean, we got to make sure that we are on the right path. I mean, because this is our year. Because I have done so much research, especially with this new thing that's coming out, and everybody on Clubhouse and they're doing this amazing thing. But you know what? It's not quite patent yet, or has it all? Is kinks and everything worked out? But you best to believe when that bad boy gets its way out, it's going to be. If you already had to be in, let's talk about that while we take real quick before we end our call. Is being at the right place at the right time, taking on the right opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
We know a lot about that.
Yeah, we know a whole lot about being at the right time and how timing is everything. Right now, leaping into 2021 is the right timing. If you're not equipped with what you need to do right now, I'm telling you, you need to get with one of us. I'm telling you, you need to be joining this workshop. What's the plan? We're doing it July the 30th, this Saturday coming up at 1:00. I suggest all you that's watching, hey, everybody, thank you for joining in, to sign up for this workshop so we can get you into the new year, leaped into the new year and ready to crush 2021. So real quick, let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about, being at the right place at the right time, getting ready to get the right opportunity. Because as leaders, that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that, that you're there, that you don't miss out on anything. That's a good thing about leadership. What I'm saying is that we're leading you, we're guiding you to the right spot because, like what we talked about a while back, when all these other inventions came out, we wish we was at the table making those decisions when those decisions came out. But unfortunately, we weren't. But now we're at a time that it's our time. It's our time to leap in and make sure that we're there. So real quick, let's talk about being at the right place at the right time with the right opportunities. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, Carla, let me go first. You can wrap it up, okay?
Okay.
So it's funny that I didn't have any advance notice that you were going to be talking about leading. And, if you think about perspective and you think about mama bird doesn't encourage the baby bird out of the nest. The mother bird throws the baby bird out of the nest, right? And what's interesting, though, depending on your perspective, if you're underneath the tree, you don't see the mama bird throw the baby bird out. It just looks like the baby bird left. The baby bird just doesn't have anywhere to go anymore, and he's got to go out and take care of himself. This is a really neat time in the history of our country. We've seen a complete change in everything that's going on. Never in our lives have we seen the social safety net all of the big holes in it like we had last year when we went to the grocery store and there was not products on the shelf. Maybe that doesn't unnerve you, but it unnerves me. Okay. There are people that for years we've talked to people about entrepreneurship and they say, well, I got a good job and I got benefits. Well, I got news for you. A lot of people have lost those jobs. And in Louisville, Kentucky, if you're an entrepreneur and unemployment, meaning you weren't a person that paid into unemployment because you were an entrepreneur, you're getting $150 a week. How's that working for you? $600 a month, right? That's your social safety net. And I just saw an executive order was signed that extends the moratorium on student loan debt collection for 8 more months. But at the end of 8 months, a person hasn't paid student loans in nearly 2 years. Then what happens? Are you one of the people out there that mortgage or your rent in 13 months because they told you, hey, this isn't your fault, don't worry about it? The thing that would scare me would be to be counting on other people going into the new year to pay that stuff for me because I've never seen them do it before. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they won't, but I'm saying what if they don't, right? So you know, it used to be we would say, come and jump, come and try something different. People would say, no, I've got this security, right? Well, that doesn't look very good right now. Again, I wouldn't get anybody to do what they're doing or give up their security on what they're doing. But what I would definitely tell them is to get started doing something else. Lean into something else. The world is changing. The world is pivoting. And if you're not pivoting, right, if you're buying wholesale to sell retail, there's nothing wrong with that. But that's the old model. Okay? That's the old model. The people on the internet that people follow are not buying the products and then selling them. They're influencing a brand using their name, and when people buy that brand, they get paid. That's the kind of stuff you should be thinking about. And so I think it's a great time to be talking about what you're talking about. You're going to save some people's lives. It won't happen in a month. It'll happen in them starting a process that leads to their freedom, and they're not being dependent financially upon other people, regardless of what business you get into. So I'm glad to have been able to be on this, and I'd love to hear what Carla has to say.
Woo woo! I got to do the woo woo.
That was good information.
Woo woo! That's good stuff.
That's very good stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, kind of chime in on the new model. Okay, the new model means that you need to be working on yourself no matter what. Lisa Nichols wrote a book called No Matter What. And so at no matter what you have to do to make it happen, you need to already be putting good information, getting your mindset together, reading books, reading around people that keep you accountable, or who can at least pour into you for something new that's going on. So my only thing to add to that would really just be ready for the new model, because the new model is already here. It's, have you heard that this is really what's happening? And your limits are unlimitless. There's no limits when you are depending on yourself. It's just how much do you want to pull out of yourself. So, even with networking, all three of us have been in programs where we're getting, I think, Tendra, you're doing a workshop. Well, I saw a workshop where they were talking about how to get leads in 100 leads in a week. For us on here, that's nothing, because we show up to the game. We show up ready. We have a plan. We have a system. We've been coached. We're ready for game. We're ready. We've got our game faces on. So, I think these are good things that we need to be talking about, because there was an old model and then there's a new model, and they need to marry alongside of each other. So that's what I have.
Yeah. Look, have y'all heard? It's a new sheriff in town. It's a new sheriff in town. It's a new program in town. Have you heard about it? Please make sure that you hear about it, because it's a new program in town. So listen, I am so excited that this has been an amazing, amazing conversation. I love every Tuesday we come on here live, LinkedIn Live, Talk to Me Tuesday. We stream on all kind of different platforms. So we're trying to give it a broad range of everyone to make sure that they can get the golden nuggets that we are dropping each and every Tuesday. So I just want to finish up with, I put on here, you know, if you are available, join us. Not if you're available, you should be joining us. What's the Plan workshop is this Saturday, July the 30th. It's at 1 p.m. Central. Register today. And also we have a program that me and Carla host every Thursday. We are co-hosts. It's called Happy Neighborhood Project. It is an awesome way if you can do business anywhere in the world. This is where you want to be at because you're able to connect with some amazing, amazing people. So
hold on a second. Coach Dan, have you been on Happy Neighborhood Project?
Oh, absolutely. I think you guys actually introduced it to me. It took me a month to finally, even with all of our relationship, it took me a month to actually go do one of them. And now I join them all over the United States. I meet people. I'm doing a little bit of business, but it's a great place to go practice your pitch, meet other people, get referrals. I mean, it's an awesome program. So I do them, you know, not every day, almost every other day for sure. Keep that pipeline. Got to get that pipeline full, right?
You got to fill the funnel. You got to fill the funnel. You got to fill the funnel.
Yep.
Keep funneling it. Yes. Yeah. So it's an amazing program. And listen, we always try to drop a resource for you at the end. Carla dropped a resource for you as a book with Lisa Nichols. You know, so I hope you were able to jot that down as well. Coach Dan, oh my God, thank you so much for all your golden nuggets that you do. You know what? You're going to have to come back. You have to come back and talk to us on Talk to Me Tuesday and give us some more good, you know, woo-woo. That woo-woo. I'm going to call it that woo-woo. That woo-woo. Okay, so thank you all for joining us. Hey, look forward to us next Tuesday on Talk to Me Tuesday. Until the meantime, have a great day.
Thanks, Tandra.
Bye.